about her second. If you don't, if you move her, you're going to be just like Paul said. Men that are married tend to the things of their wife more than they do for God, and vice versa. Women of the Bible do whatever their husbands say more than the Lord. If you don't understand, sacrifice is not greater than obedience. Going to church every day or coming down here every Sabbath and don't know the order or the instructions of the Most High, that's just a sacrifice wasted. You could have kept them $10 worth of gas to get down here from 2 blocks away. Could have kept that. That's a sacrifice ain't being wanted. It don't mean nothing. Let's get some more of this, y'all. This 1 Corinthians 11.
Read verse 5 at the end. For that is even all one as she was shaped.
So it's saying if a woman prophesying without a cover, if she ain't acknowledged that Christ, if I say, a lot of times, y'all, we have visitors here from different, somebody may be chasing the Muslim faith or Egyptology or something. We have to let it be known, look, there's an order in here. If you don't get down with this order, we have to ask you to keep silent and just listen to what we're saying. You can't start hollering out the covering of Allah, the covering of Buddha, and we're going to be sitting here shaking heads. Good point with that. Amen. I have to say, Buddha's deep. Buddha's deep. No. That's another doctrine. That's another cover. So we explain that to everybody first. If this ain't what you're looking for, it may be that class down the hall. But down here, it's called the gospel of Christ. And the orders he's taken from the Heavenly Father. He's the only begotten of the Father. And we happen to be a descendant of the 12 tribes of Israel, specifically the tribe of Judah, as say prophecy of the Bible. Not no black movement. Not no new gang that sprung up the Hebrews off of 4-5 feet. No, we're talking about the gospel of Christ, its spirituality, and the promise of his second coming. And dwelling in that kingdom. If it's anything other than that, you're wasting your time. This ain't a game. It's spiritual truth. We got to get on that. Let's read a little bit more of this. Go ahead.
For if the woman be not covered, let her also be shorn. So
if it's saying if a woman wants to be in this letter, at least cut her hair off. If she gonna play the man, let her look like a man. Showing her hair off. Don't fool nobody. It's kind of almost like people that say that this is the only thing I can't, the gay thing, if that's what they gonna do, they do it. But at least don't be pulling that down low stuff. Don't be having a woman thinking you all this. You got on a wife beater, but it's just decoration for me.
You the wife.
Right. So, no, don't do that. Just come out and say it. At least you can be dealt with straight across the board. But that hide and stuff, so it said the same way. If a woman is undercover trying to be the head of her man spiritually, then at least cut her hair off so the rest of the people can see, oh, she runs it. She wears the pants and that. We know how to deal with him. We ain't going to challenge him if he hanging out with us. We ain't going to be just running him in the ground. Yeah, some of us, if they can get theirs out of that mayonnaise jar on the shelf, they could be real mean. They could drink a 40.
I have a question with this order. So, say for instance, you follow the steps or orders or whatever, but your husband
hold it down,
is
y'all.
not in the truth, then what do?
If what happens?
If your husband doesn't know the truth,
right.
You still follow him though, right? Or
well, this is going to explain it clearly. Like I said, this is what all this going to cover all 3 things. And Numbers 5 is going to tell women how to judge a situation. The same as women shouldn't be teaching men, there's a line you can't cross. When you start, if you just happen to run into a man, you giving him some script, there has to be within the woman a line she knows she can't cross for teaching a man. When he starts coming back to you and he's sitting like this, and you're sitting in front of her, and he's sitting like this, that's a problem. And if you see that happening, you have to cut him off and lead him to the brethren he need to be with, because it's the same order, the Jew first and then the Gentile. When Cornelius, a devout man, he was told, you got to go to an Israelite, that's the order. You want to fill in the missing pieces? You got to go to Israel first. Get your clear understanding, because once you go to them, then you'll have no problem accepting who they are.
Right.
You will understand what it means to be equal in the spirit, but understand the promise as well. So in like manner, the Most High said, at least if a woman don't want to fall under these order of prophecy, cut her off. At least let the people, be fair to the people and tell them, I call the shots down there. 3219 North Kings Highway, I do. Nobody called her. Ask for me first. Then him. No.
See, that's another thing too. See, we lose out with that. We don't court. The scriptures teaching that. See, how could you walk with somebody and y'all don't agree?
Right.
Get to know each other, and then know if you agree. Then you can walk together. Y'all can learn together.
Absolutely.
But a man needs to be the man. You know what I'm saying? He needs to be the head of his house. He needs to have Most High first. That's the only way I can get it with 17.
And what you talk about, we're going to hit some script. We're going to go to that 1 Corinthians 7, what you're speaking of. If you happen to be knowing in the word and then you bring your husband and there's script for that, the script covers every question you have. I don't care what question pops up in here, the scripture will cover it and interpret it by its language, its laws, and its statute. It won't be us. Go ahead, what you got, Mal?
This right here, y'all can write this down. This is Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 22.
Read that, Mal.
It says, How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man.
That's right.
Going into Isaiah 3 and 12, we read, come on, women rule over them, children of their oppressors. Speaking about the exact same condition, sister, talking about women get better jobs.
Right.
It's all prophecy, though. It's prophetic.
That's right.
What's really going on now?
And see, when you get into a marriage with whatever these things, you understand that the woman sees the system too.
She should.
She should see the system that it may try to use you against your man and divide the household.
Of course. You gonna start thinking you don't need it.
Right. Absolutely.
I don't even need you.
Right.
I get my government checks. I get my food stamps.
Right.
I'm on Section 8.
Right.
What I need you for?
Right. And if I cut you off from that income tax check,
it's a wrap. I don't even need you. Instead of like, you know what, man, I'm gonna go over and get this money and we'll bring it back to the fold so we can keep moving as a family.
That's right.
That's the mindset the women's supposed to be in, being that the heathen gonna give it out to y'all over. Oh, but no, that ain't what's happening.
right. Let's read some more of this. Come on, y'all, let's get moving because we're gonna take a break here very short.
Right. For a man.
Right, where you at, verse what?
Verse 7.
Verse 7, 1 Corinthians 11, verse 7.
I need to finish that 6 hours.
Okay.
For if a woman be not covered, let her also be shorn.
Verse 6, go ahead.
But if it be a shame for a woman to be shorn or shaven, let her be covered.
So now it gets to the flip side of that. If that's a shame, if that's a reproach, and what we mean is, if it's a shame to see that order twisted up, because believe it or not, through all of that, if you saw a woman doing a man like that, and he got the puppy dog looking, he's doing like that, hold your damn head up. You will feel that'll be shameful for that. You be like, boy, he shouldn't do it. I mean, because you feeling it. But you can't start teaching him. If I was you, I'd slap up, just slap upside the head and make her think you crazy. No, right. And then she may put something on.
She won't let her be.
Right. So y'all, we don't want you to think from that perspective. Go ahead.
Verse 7. For a man indeed ought not to cover his head.
Right, so a man indeed ought not to cover his head. We on the spiritual side, so it's telling you anything that where you start to think, and that's covering your head with your own self. Scripture said the last day we're going to become lovers ourselves. If the Egyptology doctrine teach that you are God.
Ooh, 5%.
You are your covering.
5% is all that.
What you doing? I know I don't pray to God.
I am God.
I meditate. That's when God speaks to you.
What do you need this for? So y'all, we got that. This is what it's saying. Go ahead, bro. Read a little bit more.
For as much as he is the image and the glory of God.
Who is he in?
The image and glory of God.
Right, as Genesis 1:1 say. Go ahead.
But the woman is the glory of the man.
The woman is the glory of the man, meaning that God glories when we represent his word. That's glory. That's a great feeling that when you are breaking off the works of the devil, he glories in man. But man's glory is the woman. That's his woman on the same page with him. He looks at her like the boy in Proverbs 31. Look, his heart does safely trust in her. I ain't got to be hiding in bushes watching what she driving, checking the odometer. Oh, that's 11 miles. It's 5.3 to her job. Where the hell has she been for 4.7 miles? Get home. No, you wasting your time if it has to be like this. Your heart safely trusts in her.
And it should.
You know, because hers is trusting you. With her, she's saying, I'm submitting to the will and order of God. You got to do right, man.
Gotcha.
But she can't tell you what right is. A man has to know what right is. And he should know that before they become husband and wife.
But that's why it's very important to court and know one another.
Absolutely.
Jumping into something that let the flesh get in the way, and then all of a sudden then something else happens. That's the reason why it's very important to court. And if you don't court, that's the time you get a chance to know one another. And, and we're seeing it a lot now. I see it in high school, but I also see it among adults too. You gotta court, know one another. Just do funny things, fun things.
Find out if it's a crazy uncle or auntie on that side before you join up with this. You know, I'm telling you, he crazy. They may accept crazy. You don't want to accept crazy. You know, he's known to do crazy things. He'll pee in the punch bowl at a party. No, you know, he can't come. He can't come. I'm not going to settle for that. And if she says, well, if Uncle Leroy can't be here, count me out. Well, you have to count her out.
Well, you know, you find out 2 or 3 months down the road if there's some mental illness.
Absolutely. It can't hide itself, y'all. Trouble can't hide itself like that. It's going to expose itself. But we're going to get into the ones that where if you already connected, what do you do then? The scripture's already ahead of the game. It answers everything. There won't be nothing whether the Lord will be like this. And I said, you know, I didn't think about it. I didn't think about it. You know, that's like the devil. See, you know somebody, this woman is wicked. I'm telling you, the devil asked her for instruction. No, if the devil is doing that, then that's a problem. Let's get some more of this. Where we at?
Verse 8. Oh, yeah, verse 8. For the man is not of the woman.
What is the man?
Not of the woman, but the woman of the man.
Let's get the order straight. Who came from who? This is down to what comes first, the chicken or the egg.
This is Genesis 2.
It's coming down to it. Who did the woman come from? Let's understand why he created things in the way he did, and why he constantly Christ say, as it was in the what now? The beginning. Let's get some more of this.
Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man.
Right.
For this cause ought the woman have power over...
To have.
I'm sorry, you're right. For this cause ought the woman to have power on her head because of the angels.
What angels you think it's talking about?
Genesis 6.
The angels in Genesis 6 chapter that came down and saw a woman ruling over their men.
So they must not have been covered.
They weren't covered. And what we're talking about, they were covered and they were the covering. They had switched orders. Why is it bringing this back in? It's saying there's going to be a time like that again on earth where women are going to be dominating men out, not from the well-being of the family, but just let you know I can get another one of you. What's that song go?
To the left, to the left.
In a minute.
Have another one of you in a minute.
Once it gets to that level, this is what this is talking about. It's saying this cannot move to those levels under no circumstances. And men, if a woman ain't got a pistol to your head like this and tell you that, you letting all of this happen. You're letting it happen. Ain't nobody twisting your arm. You just decide to do it. Go ahead, bro.
On that scripture, it's talking spiritually, right? It's talking about...
Well, it's talking about something that's natural, right? Supernaturally, that angels intervene with women and start puffing them up. These are same evil spirits out there now whispering in the ears and saying, look, this is what needs to be happening. You need to let him know. You need to do this, and these angels are whispering. It's the same angels that fell from their first state. These ain't happen like that. We in the wilderness. Right. We got to get ourselves in check before we can ever think about walking into that kingdom of Christ. Everybody in here know what you done did between now and when you come to class. You done violated the law. It already been a sacrifice full of turtle doves before we walked in here. On the way down here in this summertime too, and shorts and all. Who we fooling? Let's get some more of this. Go ahead.
I guess we'll cover it, but I was just gonna say, you know how sometimes they say like for the covering for the women is her hair. That's not.
Well, we get into that. We're gonna roll on down to verse 17. When we get there, it's gonna clear it all up. Let's get it.
Nevertheless, neither is the man without the woman.
Y'all see that? So a man can't do without a woman. So don't get beside yourself, men, and you start treating women like they ain't nothing. A piece of meat, so to speak. Running through them. You can't do that either. Let's get some more.
Without the woman. Nevertheless, neither is the man without the woman, neither the woman without the man in the Lord.
So we're talking about it don't see, so it's keeping the playing field even.
Right.
Right there, it's saying, man, you need her if you're gonna be doing these scriptures. Right. How you gonna be fruitful and multiply with what? I didn't pull a man out your ribs. One Adam and Steve. Go ahead. What you got now?
It's like that Galatians you read earlier.
Right.
No male or female.
No male or female, right. So it's letting you know, understand these things. When it comes down to Christ, everybody has a responsibility for their own soul. If you let somebody else create an avenue for you, husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, that leads you to the lake of fire, you got to cut it off. Christ said if your eye offends you, pluck it out. If every time you see somebody's woman, your eyes come out of your head like that cartoon, oh, God. Pluck it out. I'm telling y'all, this is what he's saying. So if that get to the point that where you can't serve the Most High and your soul is on the line, cut it off. But cut it off according to the Word of God. Not set it up to be cut off. You know, conspire to get his job too. Then fix it where he can't get unemployed. Then say he ain't worth nothing. Or she ain't worth nothing. Ain't cook. Burn up the Roman numerals. I want her out.
Verse 12.
Okay, verse 12.
For as the woman is of the man, even so is the man also of the woman. But all things of God.
Because a woman can only bear a man child. You want a son or a daughter to go on? Carry your name on? Well, you need a woman for that. You're going to need some woman. I don't even care if it's artificial insemination. They got to still put it in a woman. Ain't no man with no fallopian tubes. It shouldn't be. If they didn't invent that, they're going to release it on the world real short.
See that heathen a couple of years ago was pregnant on hope.
But it was a man. Right, looking like a woman. Let's get some more of this.
A woman looking like a woman.
Right. Right. She just had a hormone.
She was born a woman.
She born a woman.
Judging yourself.
Do what?
Judging yourself.
Now he's asking us not to judge them, but to judge in yourself. Judging your inner being. This next question you can ask. Go ahead.
Is it comely that a woman pray unto God uncovered?
Is this a good-looking thing that she leapfrog her husband, who is her covering, and start talking about God? He's standing there. All you have to do is read the story of Jezebel and Ahab. And that's a wicked woman and a soft man. Now it reverses that to a wicked man and a righteous woman in Abigail and Nabal. So the Bible plays both sides of the coin always. It never leaves a woman to where now people are saying people use the Bible to put people down. The Bible never uses the Bible to put anybody down. It's always to lift them up. If you refuse lifting up, then he cuts you down for the count. So we have to understand that if you're doing it out of that order, there's going to be some problems. Read a little bit more of this for me.
Does not even nature
Does
itself,
not who?
Does not nature itself teach you?
Right.
That if a man have long hair, it is a shame unto him.
Now, right here it's saying, does nature teach you that a man have long hair? What in nature is a problem for men with long hair? That's the first question you got to ask yourself. You got to start with all that. Right. What in nature? A lion's got a mane.
Longer than a woman.
So what in nature? So it's giving you a parable here. In nature, it's talking about, it's still talking about the order. The long hair, because a woman's hair, as we're going to read, is her covering. So when that switches, that a man wants to act like a woman, so his hair can become his covering, or she moves in the place of Christ. This is what it says. It said nature teach you, and nature teaches things on the physical level. If a boy dog sniff on a boy dog, what's going to happen?
Get some growl.
Right. So we see that all throughout nature. And then they'll say, well, there's homosexual baboons or whatever, or a dog will hump on another dog. You have to understand they are beasts. And once we lower ourselves to that level, we'll think like that. They are beasts. They have what's called instinct. When the smell of a female is in the air, a dog will dig under a fence. He'll leap out a car window on the highway if he can smell that. If a female dog is on your leg, that smell, he will come up to your leg and start with your leg. Do you think this dog, so does that make him a homosexual or is that bestiality? No, it's the smell of that in nature. That's what it is. That has nothing to do with a dog being a homosexual. They are dealing with different types of scents and different things, but they know that smell is coming from a what? Female dog.
And if that male dog smells like a female, it might
then that's a problem.
Male dog.
Right. So, but we don't see that, but that covers that area. And then also in nature, the only females that rule kill the husband. It's called the black widow. And the praying mantis. When they through with the man, they kill him. That's why all of the stories you see on Lifetime Channel, the black widow on Elm Street. 7 husbands dead. And on number 8. That's what nature is letting you see. If this rule comes, the man is going to die. You are going to die. Because you are out of the order of God, and that means death. So this is what it's telling you about nature. Go ahead.
You know,
we're going to get into Numbers 5 to break that off. Go ahead.
Same thing about them spiders. Them
Numbers
spiders
30.
They do that.
Right.
Then when they had a baby, guess what they babies do?
Kill what?
They eat the mother spider.
Eat the mother spider. Boy, I'm telling you, so now the children is out of order. But that's, go ahead. We're going to get down to this hair.
The men can have it.
Look, number 6 chapter, the order of the Nazarite. You can't cut your hair. Samson couldn't cut his hair. Absalom, David's son, who was running after he tried to commit some wickedness, and Joab, his right-hand man, put his son to death, his afro got caught in a tree. Now, I want you to think about how big he was. No, Soul Train started with Absalom. You know, I mean, Don Cornelius, his fro. But when you see them big froze, he got caught in a thorn bush, and he was hanging by his hair. So he had long hair as well as the Nazarites. So you automatically say to yourself, well, that can't mean that. That can't mean that Samson had 7 long locks that was never cut. Until Delilah cut him. Somebody he shouldn't have married because she was a daughter of a Philistine, and also weakened him down and took his strength. Never give your strength to a woman. And understanding that what that means is if she starts to dictate to you how to be a man, you have given her your strength. Now see that, look at you. Stacy's a temperance. What you gonna do? A real man. No, once it get to them points or you start to tell her about what dress look good on her and different things like that, you can't become an expert at that. Or you gonna have your name on the back of jeans. You gonna be switcheroo. Yo, we got to understand that that's what it's going to lead to when you start looking at how you trying to teach her how to be as feminine as she can be. How you know about that? Ooh. Next you going to be in the mirror practicing dropping it low. And then when you know about they going to say, we practiced that. Ain't no man supposed to shake like that. That's been practiced.
Hey, you see it all the time.
If that's been practiced and you wait to get to the club to show it off, let's get some more of this, show. What we at? Verse what? 15.
But if a woman have long hair, it is a glory to her.
See, if a woman have long hair, if she keep in the order of women. See, her hair was always a sign of beauty for a woman. It's just certain things, and when women deal with their hair and different things, you know, that was a sign because that's when she was looking good for a man, you know, and it was a sign of just following the orders of God. You know, my hair is my covering. As long as I'm in line like this, if I'm caught short, I always have a covering over my head. One way or other, I'm not going to fool a man that where I can't have on no dickies and have my hair cut off and I turn around and got breasts. You know, that's deception. It can't be those type of things. So her hair is giving her for a covering. If there's a woman in here uncovered right now, she's saying, well, I understand that, because the next verse we're going to hit and say we're not commanding anybody that you must do this. But what we can command is, according to the ordinance, is that you cannot prophesy. You have to just sit there and listen to what we're saying. The minute you do this, while we're praying or prophesying, if we start to pray, and you don't want to pray with us because you don't want to cover up, you have to leave out of them doors. We can't break ranks for you unless you tell us we're reading this absolutely dead wrong. If you reproof us and tell us, look, you're reading that wrong, according to this, such and such, y'all are way off base on that, then do that. But don't sit here with your lips turned off like Aunt Esther, like you've been smelling chitlin incense, and you mad because we saying that cover yourself up. Go out the door. We're not forcing anything on anybody. We're not that type of order. You can't come in here and we keep a belt buckle and make sure shirts is lined up with zippers. No, ain't none of that going on. You come up in here, you want to get this word of God. We hope that the Spirit moves through us, that we teach it to you. Let's get some more of this. Where we at? Verse what? 16.
But if any man seem to be contentious,
if any man got an argument with this, go ahead.
We have no such custom. Neither the churches of God.
So we don't deal with customs of contention. That's not our job. We're not going to be in here arguing with each other about what the world. We got to come to one understanding. It's the gospel of Christ. It's not about who's right. It's about what's right. If what's right is being taught, then we in good shape, male and female. But you cannot change the order. We're not going to have contention in class. A house divided can't do what? It can't stand. We're not going to put you in a position of where if you feel uncomfortable about something, we're not explaining this like we should. Then that's probably, let's get to Numbers 30th chapter. Then we're going to take a quick break, y'all. We're going to take a quick break, y'all, about 5 minutes until you use the restroom, get some snacks. Numbers 30th chapter. And we're going to see still the order under the law. Then we see that women were not under the foot of men, ain't never been. That's why he took them from your rib, not from your spine. From your side. You walk side by side. That's that Muslim. That's that Muslim dog who walk 10 paces behind. But see, women is having a problem with the word submission, because they keep looking at it fleshly and not spiritual. But it gives you spiritual women. It says Sarah and Hagar, the heart. Not Hagar, the heart. Hagar was the handmaid, and what was her name? Rahab, the heart. And these other women, Deborah, and these other women, tells you, women, study from them. And then you get a clear definition of what submission is. And then if your husband telling you what submission is, if it ain't going with this and you looking like this, then that's not his fault. That's your fault, because either you want to walk with him or you just don't like what God has down and saying he's unfair to me. Right. He's unfair to me. Hell, I make all the money and you keep putting it to flesh thing.
He tried to whoop him.
Shit, he can't even change on. Don't even need it. He can't do this. If he's doing what he's supposed to do as a man, and you're doing what you're supposed to do as a woman, neither one of you will keep telling everybody a real woman. How you know? Unless you've been doing some practicing and studying on a real man and a real woman. And a real man would, oh, so you're telling me you study the man side of this law. So you know Leviticus 15, you want to cleanse yourself 30 days and not 60. That's what you want. And if we caught up in the flesh, we'll give it up, just like Samson. Always laying in Delilah's lap.
Right. Pillow talk.
Thou lovest me, Samson, then tell me the secrets. Samson, give me your man and let me put it in a jar and just take your strength away. And he don't even know she got men hiding outside the door and she working on it because he caught in the flesh. But this ain't the first thing. When haircut didn't do it to him. The Most High said, don't come near a dead body. He killed people and was just hanging around, taking clothes off of them. Don't cut your hair, don't drink no wine. He was at a feast guzzling it up. Samson had broke all of the commandments that was given to his mother in Judges 13. He can't do this, he can't cut his hair, he can't do this, no dead body. When you read the law of a Nazarite, if he, in his 6th week of training and a dead body fall down, he got to start over again. If his parents die, he can't go to the funeral. This is the law of the Nazarite. Samson broke all of that way before Delilah got him. That was just the final straw. And then when they blinded him and had him for sport, just turning wheels and he was like on a sideshow. They had the soul circus back then, but it was Samson. He just making sport out of it. And he asked the Lord, Lord, let me do what you asked me to do at the beginning. But the Lord said, you're going to have to die with it. You ain't going to do that. You're going to die with him. And he said, that's cool, Lord. And he pushed those parents. The Lord gave him strength again. And his hair hadn't even grown back. And he knocked those 2 pillars down and killed everybody, including himself. But that was the price to pay for disobedience.
And death.
For letting the order change. Now here you is Israel's strongest man, and you got a Philistine woman stroking your hair, and you done weakened down like a puppy dog. Let's get some more. Numbers 30. And we're going to take a quick break, y'all. Start at 1.
Numbers 30.
Right.
Verse 1.
And this, y'all, this is the order of the household as well. And it tells you different things of how a man needs to be doing things. If you hear something crazy, you got to check that. You check that. Not the woman. Understand that this is where our problem's coming from. Everybody's in each other's face on their tiptoes. Let's get it, y'all. Numbers 30 and 1.
Numbers 30 and 1. And Moses spake unto the head of the tribes concerning the children of Israel.
What did he say?
Saying, this is the thing which the Lord has commanded.
What did the Lord do?
He commanded.
The Lord commanded. John, 1 John 2, John 14. Most High say, if you love me, keep my commandments. So if we love Christ, Christ kept the commandments of the Father. We got to keep the commandments. If the law is done away with, then how do you become Christ-like? How is it possible? You got to do the right thing. Well, what is the right thing? You got to do what Christ would do. Well, what would Christ do? He did what his Father told him. Well, what is that called? You just keep working until they're going to say, that's the commandments of God. Absolutely. Then the law ain't going nowhere. Because Romans 4:15 say, well, there's no law, there's no sin. And if you ain't a sinner no more, what you keep going to church for? Why are you wasting your time and keep buying tickets to the game and you already sitting in the seat? Let's get some more. Where we at?
If a man vow a vow
Right.
unto the Lord,
Right.
or swear an oath to bind his soul with a bond.
That's what you do in marriage. You're saying we're a vow to the Lord, a binding oath to the Lord. Let's get some more.
He shall not break his word.
What he should not do?
He shall not break his word.
All the man got is his words and his strength. That's all the man got. That's all he got. That's all you can put it on. You can't put it on your mouth. Don't just say, I put that on my mouth. The script say, put that on you. Or if you holler GD me. God damn me? You want God to damn you? Apparently you don't know the wrath of the Lord. Let's get some more, boy.
He shall do according to all that proceedeth out of his mouth.
Look, not out of nobody else's mouth. This a vow you made. You're making this with your mouth. The Lord just says, keep your word. Stand on your word. Whatever you asking the Lord about, stand on it. You can't ask him to help you and then you trembling in fear. Let's get some more.
If a woman also vow a vow unto the Lord, and bind herself by a bond, being in her father's house.
Being in what?
Being in her father's house.
Right.
In her youth.
Right.
And her father hears her vow.
Right.
And her bond wherewith she has bonded her soul.
Right.
And her father shall hold his peace at her. Then all her vows shall stand.
Right.
and every bond wherewith she has bonded her soul shall stand.
If a father hear a daughter still in his house and she praying to the Lord, and Lord, I just want to find me a man that's going to be in touch with his feminine side. I want a man that's, you know, like Prince. You know, I want a man that's strong in the face of adversity, but show this side here when we alone. And her father hear that. If he don't say nothing about that and let that go, that vow stands. You just allowed this to work in this household. It's the same thing as if you hear a woman keep telling her son, you ain't gonna be SH, you ain't gonna be dumb. Your daddy wasn't dumb. His daddy wasn't dumb. And you keep telling the child that, what is he gonna think? You don't think that vow gonna stand with him? There's no goals to reach at this point. She already told me I'm done. Failed. I ain't gonna be nothing but that. Well, I need to start asking about that. Let's get some more.
But if her father disallows her in the day,
if he do what?
If he disallows her in the day that he heard, that he heard, not any of her vows or her bonds wherewith she has bonded her soul shall stand.
So if you hear and you correct that in that day, oh no, Lord. You ain't even got to be no intervention with her. You got to tell the Lord she's off base. That Lifetime channel is running a marathon and she didn't got the size. No, that vow can't stand. That vow will stand. Mr. Noodleback will never show up. Just rough knuckle Leroy all the time. I'm a go herder and I work on cars. Somebody that can take care of it. Not Mr. Pretty Boy. Let's get some more.
And the Lord shall forgive her. Because her father disallowed her.
You see what it say? The Lord will forgive her. Because he's the head of that house. If your child living in your house and she call you and tell you, Daddy, me and Rufus going to Chicago, you asking or you telling? Because if something happened, who they gonna dial up? Rufus and his people, he has no authority, no deal. If it's a life and death decision, well, I've been a boyfriend for 6 months, 18 years, and we've been living together since I moved in without my mama's basement. I think I can make this decision. They say, sir, get out of here. Who's next of kin? Look at our ID. And they will search till they find the next of kin and handle this business. Let's get some more. Where we at?
Verse 5. But if her husband disallowed her,
where you at?
6, my bad. Verse 6. And if she had at all in husband.
So now we getting on the other side of it. If she got a husband, go ahead.
If at all she had in husband when she vowed or uttered out of her lips, wherewith she bonded her soul.
Bound her soul.
Bound her soul. And her husband heard it, and held his peace.
And he held his peace. Go ahead.
At her in the day that he heard it, then her vow shall stand, and her bonds wherewith she bound her soul shall stand.
When you hear this happen, you see that this is going to destroy the household if I just say yeah. Why are you saying yeah to a vow you know is going to cause problems in your household? Why has she threatened you with the witchcraft? The IDs. You get that, then you fall. The iron draws, y'all, I'm talking about for the children's sake. No more for the rest of this month. Now you fall. Let her vow whatever she wants to vow. You can't do it. Because then that becomes your God like Samson. And you just be laying in her lap, rubbing it and just rubbing it all out of you until you destroy it. We have to understand that, y'all, this is no hit on women. It's just talking about women that's out of line, but it takes a man that's out of line for it to work. Let's get some more. Where we at?
Verse 8. But if her husband disallows her on the day that
go ahead, bro.
But if her husband disallows her on the day that he heard it, then he shall make her vow which she vowed, and that which she uttered with her lips.
Read that again, bro. Then
then he shall make her vow, which she vowed.
Now hold it down. It's not he making her. Hey, I heard that. I'm going to make you vow. No, it's saying he shall make her vow what he heard. He shall make that. He's making it now. He's taking control of that vow, not dealing directly with her. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
And that which she uttered with her lips,
right,
were which she bound her soul of none effect. And the Lord shall forgive her.
See, this is what he's doing. He's making it none effect. He's like, Lord, that's not going down in here. As a servant of yours, as a Hebrew man, as a Gentile man, according to your law, statutes, and judgment, that ain't happening here. That can't go down here. You know, and it can't be no deal that where you gotta force it. If it won't work, if it becomes contentious, it says better that a man dwell in a rooftop of a house than in a wide mansion, dealing with
a contentious woman.
And this will make you snap. Say it again. Say it again.
Right. One more time.
Then she start getting tough. What else going? This didn't work. First words ain't working. Now this ain't work. Now you right here. That's called graveyard love, y'all. If I can't have you, get you to do what I want, I'll put you to death. No, you just cut it off. You have to cut it off. Yeah, it's going to be some complex situations coming up behind that, but you have to think about how am I going to live the rest of my life? Is this going to stop me from getting into the kingdom? Righteously, not personally. Not just really tired of it because you got your eye on something else. Because the Most High see that. But righteously, you've tried and it just ain't working. Either it's going to kill you or you're going to bleed out, one of the two. Let's read some more. Where we at?
Verse 9. But every vow of a widow.
Now we're going to a widow that don't have no husband. See how this covering every spectrum of it? A woman whose husband is dead. Who's her covering now? Let's read some more.
But every vow of a widow.
Right.
And of her that is divorced.
Of her that's what?
That is divorced.
So her husband has been cut off. Unless she go back to her father's house or if she on her own now. Go ahead.
Wherewith they have bound their souls,
right,
shall stand against her.
Right. So now, whatever you do, you have no physical covering. Right. Then whatever you vow to the Lord, it's on you. That seed you are sowing. If you tell the Lord, look, I want this, what I want in a man. I want him to be like this. I want this. I want that. I want that. If you give me a man like that, then I'll do this for you. Jacob did it in Genesis 30 chapter. Lord, if you be with me, if you will be my God, as the scripture said, then I'll give you a tenth of everything that I get. That was a vow he made. That wasn't no tithe every week. This was before the Levitical priesthood even came. This is a free will offering. This is what we under Christ now. You give what your heart. How you gonna give rent money to the church and pay their bill and you sitting in the dark? Now you sneaking cable lines to next door. Watch out over there. See you coming. I've been to Home Depot to get a pair of them wire cutters. Let's get some more. Go ahead.
Verse 10. And if she vow in her husband's house.
In what?
In her husband's house.
Right.
Or bound her soul by a bond with an oath.
Right.
And her husband heard it and held his peace at her and disallowed her not. Then all her vows shall stand, and every bond wherewith she bound, her soul shall stand.
Man, I just don't want no arguments, dog. I'm just trying to keep the peace up in there. But did you hear what she just said? She said if you invite anybody else over here, she gonna kick your rear end up to your shoulder blades. Man, what man gonna let that happen? Man, I'm just trying to keep the peace up in there, dog. You know, a foot so anyway. But you know, he's making excuses for it. Let's get some more. What we at?
Verse 12.
All right.
But if her husband have utterly made them void.
What he do?
Made them void.
Void means without none effect. If he make them void, they have zero effect on you. And you can do that with just saying, no. You want me to die, don't you? You must want me to die. Because that's what's going to happen if I let that happen for the well-being of this family, and that's on my back. Woman, I can't let that happen. Well, if you don't, it's your, well, that's what it's going to have to be, but I ain't letting that happen. Not up in there. Can't happen. Not for the well-being of the family. And you just want to show off with the rest of them down there, women down there talking, this what it's about. Showing and keeping up with the Joneses. Huh? Let it go and see what happens. Get some more of this.
But if her husband have utterly made them void on the day he heard them, then whatsoever proceedeth out of her lips concerning her vows, or concerning the bond of her soul, shall not stand.
What shall it not do?
Shall not stand. Her husband has made them void. Has made them void, and the Lord shall forgive her.
Understand what the Lord is doing. He's forgiving her behind all of this. Because her husband recognizes this. He's saving his wife's soul. This is where we get right back into Ephesians 5:22. If a man love his wife, don't he love himself? How you going to allow her to do something that's going to hurt you? You know this going to take you down. And you scared, you just gonna let it happen. I'm not talking about all this foolishness. I'm talking about the well-being of the household. If I do this, everything in this house is going to hell. If I do this. This ain't personal with me. I'm not trying to be a ruler over her. Well, I'm a tyrant. You can't speak the law and be a tyrant at the same time. You can't give a gift and be a taskmaster over the gift. Yeah, I got that for you. No. Now look, if you're going to play with it, do it like this and that. But you gave it to me. Who the hell bought it? Who bought it? Do it like I say. That's not a gift. That's a controlled gift or whatever it is. Anything that you give gifts that you have an ulterior motive on is wrong. It's just plain and simple. You can fool yourself, but the Most High got the records. He said, I'm bringing everything in the secret. All the secret things too. Not to everybody to see, but on Judgment Day. You ain't fooling nobody. Because you can't fool yourself if you look in the mirror. You know what you did. You know how you did. You're just saying that nobody see me on earth. Let's get some more. Wait, this last one.
Verse 13.
Okay.
I bring this all the way up. Verse 13. Every vow, every vow and every binding oath to afflict thy soul, her husband may establish it, or her husband may make it void. But if her husband altogether hold his peace at her from day to day, then he established all her voids, all her vows, or all her bonds, which are upon her. He confirms them, because he held his peace at her in the day that he heard them.
See, it's the same vow for a woman. It said if a woman get raped out in the field and no man hear her, she's excused from that. But if she get raped in the city, then he said, there's going to be some questions here. We're going to have to take this before a jury, because you could have hollered out, hey, this trying to take from me. Somebody goes, who is that trying to take from that woman? And they'll run off. But out in the field, nobody can hear you. She can holler all she wants. Y'all done seen the movies where they just silence the holler, and all you just see is their mouth open like you do when your mom used to hit you right here with that strap, and you holler out and nothing come out. This same way. So in this same way, if you hear about and you know, Lord, this is going to be a problem for me. This is going to be a problem. Then you have to do away with that vow. What I got you at, man?
You got me told I was going to.
He got the right word. He said, this my sister I've taken out for love. You know what I'm saying? And then boom, go ahead, finish the last two, brother.
Verse 15. But if he shall any way make them void after that he have heard them,
right,
then he shall bear her iniquity.
Her iniquity. So now if he try to just let him go, then whatever she asked for, all that he's coming back on him. He had total control of her prayers to God because he's her spiritual covering. He has total control of that if he hear it not lining up according to the law, not according to his commandments of men. Right there in the Bible it says, barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen. That ain't in the scripture. Not in that fashion. Let's get some more. Where we at? Last verse.
Last verse. These are the statutes which the Lord commanded Moses.
What did he do?
He commanded Moses between a man and his wife.
And who else?
Between the father and his daughter.
Right.
Being yet in her youth in her father's house.
Now understand this. This says in her father's house. Once a woman leaves the nest, usually, you know, parents try to put no reverse on these wings when you send them out. But sometimes they may have to come back. But the rules don't change when you living under somebody else's rule. According to Ephesians 6:1, it start off, obey your mother and father. Look, whatever rules go down in the house, those are the rules of that house. You know, once she leaves that, she's not under the rules of those house, whether she have a husband or not. She says, I am from up under your covering, Dad. Then she has to put some form of covering on for Christ. Because that's who her head is now. Until a man comes and gets right there, and then he's given that as the vow keeper, so to speak. That's the way it is. That's the order it is. You know, but women can't put yourself in that vow position and there's a man right there and you say, well, he don't want to learn the Bible. He don't want to do nothing. You got that vow right quick, the Tobit ain't. This is just a vow, y'all. We're just going to hit that 1 Corinthians 7 about if you end up getting married and like say y'all was a Jehovah's Witness and y'all heard this truth and you decide to come in. You like it, but she just can't get with it yet. The scriptures cover that too. It deals with everything that's going to deal with us because it's called the book of life. It's not to call a book of when I feel like it. It's law, statute, judgment, and commandments. He gives us commandments, not suggestions. The Lord don't suggest us. I suggest what you do is split hairs. Tell her you bring her roses in. See if it does that for you. No, that Most High don't make suggestions. He gives commandments. Look, do it like this, and you won't have to deal with this over here. Now, if you do it like that, because you have free will, when this happens, don't blame her or me. Look in the mirror, because that's who's at fault. Let's get some more of this. Where we at? The Tobit. Yeah, the book of Tobit. The Apocrypha now, 8th chapter. Go ahead, now. Book of Tobit. And this is Tobit and his wife get married. See, a lot of people think that you have to have a preacher to win. No, you don't. You just have to make it public knowledge. Go down to the courthouse. Take 2 witnesses with you. Take these 2 brothers. Their names going to be on the list. Their government names go. You know, and it's going to have to be proven. And then you have a ceremony and you like, man, I want you to do my wedding for me. I just want you to say these things. We're going to say our own vows. And that's what it is. But there has to be some public knowledge that if a doctor, if any one of y'all in trouble, that he can call back and say, well, he has authority to tell me to operate or not. Can't your boo can't do that. If boo ain't got no paperwork. This goes back to the next of kin. They gonna make them decisions. Go ahead. Right. All of that they got to fix that if you don't want to go with that. What does it say, Mal, about that? Wait.
Tobit chapter 8, verse 4. It says, and after that they were both shut in together. Tobias rose out of the bed and said, Sister, arise, and let us pray that God would have pity on us. Then began Tobias to say, Blessed art thou, O God of our fathers, and blessed is thy holy and glorious name forever.
Right.
Let the heavens bless thee and all thy creatures. Thou madest Adam and gavest him Eve his wife, for an helper.
Right.
And state of them came mankind.
See, so what their agreement is, he's telling his wife, he's repeating while she's standing right there. God gave Adam Eve as a helper. She was called a helpmeet, right? She's going to help you meet the bill. She's going to help you meet whatever your problem may be. But she can't stand a man up on his feet. You can't get a man up on his feet. Yeah, the job and clothes down. You can assist and point a direction, but you can't build him up because you're going to start controlling that.
That baby boy syndrome.
I know, baby. They just kept on talking about one more bird, one more bird.
Hey, on to the crib.
You can't do it. Let's get some more.
Hey, thou was saved. It is not good that man should be alone.
What did he say?
It is not good that man should be alone.
See, when they going back to the beginning, these the vows of marriage. Both parties is agreeing to the beginning of God's order. There shouldn't be no confusion here. Go ahead, brother.
Let us make unto him an aid like to himself. And now, O Lord, I take not this, my sister, for lust.
Not for lust.
But uprightly. Therefore, mercifully ordained that we may become aged together.
Aged together.
And she said with him.
What she say with him?
Amen.
What she say?
Amen.
Amen means an agreement. I agree. You can't beg for an amen. Come on, sister, say amen to what I just told the Lord. If she don't agree, you can't make it.
You bet not.
That's what amen is. It's a joint agreement that this is what we're going to do. Those are simple vows, y'all. It ain't got to go over the top and you making up stuff you can't keep. And every child we get, whether it's a boy or girl, will go to college, baby, because that's hot. And you will be able to keep up with all the other, keeping up with the Jones girl, because if I have to work and sell dope, I do it to make sure you die.
He said, I agree.
If she say I agree, and that's what happened. Dope been dried up, job moved out of town, and you can't keep them vows. Right. It'd be just like Job. Job was the richest man in Egypt, sold everything left. What his wife say? Man, curse God and die. Stick yourself. Y'all, this ain't no thing of what we put men against women. We just talking about the order of God. If a woman knows her order, then it's going to be hard for a man to tell her, this is how a real woman be. She going to tell him, oh, I'm a real woman, let me tell you.
Yeah, they will.
And a real man ain't going to get in touch with his feminine side. And why you want him to do that?
She is your feminine side.
Right, that's your feminine side. Oh yeah, yo, we just gonna hit this last 1 Corinthians 18. What you got, bro? Says.
Yes, sister.
Now I'm just saying, could you explain why we get out of the Apocrypha?
The Apocrypha was part of the King James Bible. Always been.
Right there.
Mally got one right now. All 66 books plus the Apocrypha was the original. They moved them out, and what they are books. They're not lost, and nobody say you can't use them. Just like we had a book of Asher as well that's mentioned in Joshua 10:13, 1 Samuel 18, where it says study out of the book of Jasher. It mentions not the rest of the acts of David and the book of Nathan. The book of Nathan ain't in here, so but it's telling us if you want to read more about David, search out the book of Nathan. Just Google it, book of Nathan. Guess what? It's going to show up. Book of Edo will show up. But you have to check them according to the law. Exodus 20 chapter. If it's whatever's written in them is not lining up with the law and it tells you different things, and thou can have a covering other than the Lord prophesied to come, thou can be thy own covering. It's got to go. Because Christ told us in what Psalm 72, though you be like gods, because he made Moses a God, you're going to die like a man. So never get beside your britches to think you control the spirit of breath. If that's the case, all them on the operating table now, or just tell the doctor, but doc, go and fix that. When you get through, I'll be cool. No. Doctor let you know before you go under. You may not wake back up.